Hi there, my name is Rosemary Miners, and I want to share my story so far on the experience of having shingles. So on January 19th, I started to get a dull ache in my inner and upper right thigh, and I was like, what's this? I had gone to work for the first time in 22 months the previous 2 days, working with young children, bending down, crouching down. I'm like, my body's not used to this, so it's just reacting. And then it started to just like go up and down, like the upper part of my leg over the next couple of days. I'm like, oh darn, I've got osteoarthritis everywhere. Maybe this is just a new pain for that. So plus my working that earlier that week, so I just rationalized what the pain could be. On the Saturday, I discovered the rash. Um, my like in my groin and inner side of my leg. I still didn't go to find out what was going on. I suffered on the Sunday. I subbed again on the Monday. Helped my daughter with grandchildren as well. Had a rotten night's sleep on the Sunday night, and by the Monday, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out if there's a connection between this leg pain and this rash. Uh, my one daughter-in-law is a nurse, said, like, you really need to go to ER tonight. So I did. And they told me I had shingles. The doctor said, like, the pain that I had suffered for the previous few days before the rash appeared was totally classic and normal. We had just come out of a really cold, freezing snap of weather. He said sometimes that will wake up the virus that's in your body. I had shingles I had a chicken pox quite bad as a child. And he says that can lay dormant for decades, which in my case, that was nearly 6 decades, so a long time. And yes, so so I then knew what I had. They gave me medication to like help to calm the shingles for it not to get too much, to get worse. Gabapentin for the pain. And I foolishly tried to work the next day as well. Um, and that was not good. It was such a painful experience. Driving was painful, sitting was painful, crouching was painful because of where it was on my leg, the pain and the rash. The next morning, Wednesday morning, I woke up and I was in tears. I'm like, oh my gosh, how foolish am I to have tried to work the past 2 days? My husband took one look at me, called our family doctor, and like, how do I go about getting the shingles vaccine? And he got it later that day. He's like, I cannot afford to be sick like you are. And that was only 1 week in. It's now 4 weeks yesterday since that pain started. It has been a long 4 weeks, lots of pain. So that was the sorry, I'm stuttering here. The following weekend, I had 2 days, 2 nights of zero sleep. Had intense pain in my lower right back, and went to ER again. The doctor saw there said that's still shingles. Shingles follows a nerve pattern. So wherever in your body you get shingles, whether it's on your head, on your chest, on your back, on your legs, it follows a nerve pattern, and it usually stays in that area. So they was prescribed Tylenol 3. I'm like, great. Oh, that really helped with the pain. I wasn't warned of one of the side effects of Tylenol 3 is constipation. That was no fun. That took me nearly 2 weeks to get my bowels sorted out again. And anyways, because I also hadn't slept for 2 nights, my own family doctor prescribed me a sleeping pill. I've never taken a sleeping pill in my life. I took a sleeping pill on the Monday nights. We're now on January 31st. And I slept for 9 hours. It knocked me out. And I had basically a hangover for the next day and a half. Never had a hangover in my life, but that definitely has to be what it was. Oh my goodness. Wobbly, woozy, unsteady head. I just wanted to put my head down all the time and close my eyes. It was just miserable. Didn't want to hardly eat. So that finally wore off, and started to get a little bit less intense pain so often, but when the pain is intense, it's intense and it brings me to tears. And this morning, so this is now, where are we? February 17th. A friend of mine gave me a cannabis candy to help with pain relief earlier this week, and that's allowed me not to take the Tylenol 3. But I'm woke up in pain about 4:30 this morning. Took 3 gabapentin. Didn't really do anything. Took some more about 9 o'clock this morning. It's sort of, I've got some relief now, but oh my goodness, I would not wish this on anybody. It has been a hard thing. The constant pain, the inability to hardly function is emotionally draining. I've got really weepy the last few days. I'm going to go visit my doctor again tomorrow morning and see how I'm doing. My rash is actually clearing up really well on my leg. The two that end up in my lower groin area are not doing so good, which is kind of understandable. It's a warm area. They can't get the air like the rest of my leg can. Just, that's the way it is. So whether like I've talked to people who've had shingles, and definitely the conclusion is there is no good place to get shingles on your body. It is extremely painful. I've heard a nurse and other people say, okay, people need to be aware, if you can figure this, if you can get medical attention in the first 48 hours, it can make a huge difference. But even at hindsight, when my pain started, there is no way that I would have gone to the doctor or ER in those first 48 hours. I was just, okay, I already have osteoarthritis. I had worked earlier that first week. I wouldn't have gone to the ER for that. Once I saw the rash, at hindsight, especially where it was, yeah, I should have gone. But I didn't. And I hope I don't have long-term consequences because of ignoring, nearly being 6 days in before I had pain relief. So my message is, please, if you're over the age of 50, that's the way it is here in Canada and in the States, I believe, talk to your doctor. If you haven't considered the shingles vaccine, here in Alberta, you do pay for it. If you have health coverage, then that may well cover the cost. But it's not, you don't want to get this. If you've had chickenpox as a child, you are more likely to experience shingles later in life. If you haven't had it, I believe it's a lot less likely, but even still, you don't want this. And I worked out, when I was working full-time a couple of years ago, the cost of the vaccine here would have been equivalent to 3 days pay. And I now would have been off work 3.5 weeks. So yeah, do the math. It makes sense to do it. So I just wanted to share my story so far, and I'm not done yet. And I may do another video and in a few weeks' time and let you know how things have progressed from 4 weeks in. So take care. Consider getting the vaccine. Be aware of this early symptoms are like pain, unexplained pain in some part of your body that you just don't understand why it's there. Go to the doctor. Better to find out that it's nothing than to go, a week and realize you've got shingles rather than you could have been on some medication. Thank you for listening to me. Goodbye.